formula to it. A very simple formula.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Slash It. There is a new Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie coming in February, and on January 31st, the new trailer dropped that showed some things I'm not exactly looking forward to, aka some very similar beats to a movie that is now almost 5 years old, and some other things that I am absolutely looking forward to. Leatherface looks scary, he's finally super terrifying looking again, and he looks very real compared to the later sequels in this franchise. Without spoiling too much, I wanted to warn you I will be discussing things that are in the trailer, and if you wanted to go into this movie without knowing too much, I would go ahead and skip this video, and no hard feelings. With that, let's get into the video. The trailer begins with a police car crashing into field equipment. A woman looks out and screams. Leatherface appears in the field, and then we hear more screams. The first time we see Leatherface, and it looks terrifying. And kind of funny out of context when he rises out of the field and like why he's just sitting out in the middle of the field the way he is. I don't know how to describe that. It's just really funny looking. But also the way Leatherface looks in this is really, really scary. It's really hard to describe without you seeing it. One thing of note here I noticed is you can hear deep breathing from off screen before the trailer cuts to Leatherface in the field. We see a car driving into Harlow, the town where this whole thing takes place. We see our main characters, which I actually don't know the names of, and there's a shot of a bus that is pulled over. From what I can try to put together is that Leatherface moved to this desolate town in the middle of nowhere to get away from people, and the newcomers are trying to get people to come into the town and start making the town more populated, which Leatherface obviously does not want. Our main characters walk into a house, and there is a woman in the house who asks them who they are. I don't know who this person is yet, but honestly, I'm sure we'll know in the later film. There's a flash of one of the characters looking up the stairs, of the woman turning an air compressor or something like that, which I still don't understand what it could be doing, but we see bloody footprints on the floor, probably from Leatherface post-kill. We see Leatherface walking above someone, and we see someone notice Leatherface in a pot. Someone hides and another person gets a hammer into his head, which splashes onto the ground. We cut and we see the chainsaw drop in front of the person who is hiding under the bed. The chainsaw looks really good, and it's modeled exactly after the first chainsaw in the first movie. This is when we find the only thing that makes me slightly worried about this movie. We saw Sally Hardesty back for a couple of different sequels, a little bit of cameos about her character, but this one she's waiting for Leatherface, which is, she's been waiting for Leatherface, and if you don't know what that means, it is very, very similar to Halloween 2018, where Laurie Strode has been doing the same thing. It feels very similar, and I'm not looking forward to that. It feels like the most unoriginal you could possibly have been with this movie, which sucks because I was hoping something more, but I didn't want them to lean incredibly heavily into that side of this movie, but that's what happens when the scene of Sally on the phone, and then she's putting guns in the back of a truck. It doesn't give me too high hopes that they're not fully going into this side of the story. We see Leatherface pick up the chainsaw, and we see more of his face, which is really, really scary in this movie from what I can tell. A bus full of people shows up in the town, and we get to see this cool shot, which I really like. We see Leatherface slightly chase someone, and then we see him at the top of the stairs. We see him enter this bus and kill this one dude, and holy shit, this looks insane. This scene right here is gonna be crazy. I am certain of it. That's pretty much all that I want to talk about in the trailer. There's a little bit more that is in between of what I talked about, but that's pretty much all that I can necessarily want to give out. I can kind of put together what this movie is going to be kind of easily. I'm sure there's going to be a second movie, a Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, because if you don't know, the title is officially Texas Chainsaw Massacre and not The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That's literally the only difference in the title. I'm not giving it any slack though, because at least they removed a word and didn't just call it Halloween. We won't be talking about that. My general thoughts on this trailer is there really isn't anything we can truly deduce about what the story is from this. It's not great. I don't think this trailer showed a lot about the actual film, that's a good thing. I don't want to give too many opinions because honestly I don't have more than what I've said. I don't know how to feel about it, but it'll be a Texas Chainsaw movie, which I guess is all that matters. I'm looking forward to this because it'll be the first new one in a while that I actually have any faith in. I wasn't a horror fan. I was only 10 years old when the 2013 Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake came out, but I was not a huge fan of that movie when I rewatched it, or when I watched it for the first time. Even though it is really scary, but it's also just not, it doesn't feel like it has the creative spark that the first one does, and I feel like I'm hoping that this movie can kind of do its own thing, but also have the same energy, I guess, as the original. This movie does give me faith for the future of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise, and I'm just hoping that it'll get even better from here. Please like and subscribe if you want to. You can listen to the Slash It podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, on YouTube or any streaming service. If it's not on a streaming service that you want to listen to it, please let me know. You can message me at slashitpodcast@gmail.com, or you can just DM me on Twitter at slashithorror and Instagram at slashithorror as well. Thank you for watching this video, and like always, remember, treat every day like it's Halloween.